At this rate,
please switch off your mic, please.
At this rate, the feeling I have is actually we have nothing to do here. Because the documents we are using are documents that your office has generated. The CEC tells me Kisii County is the best in having paid debts for camps and everything. And the fact is, the truth is exactly the opposite of that. So one of the things I would like to recommend and ask you, Chair, anything that anybody says, whether it's the governor, whether it's CEC Health, whether it's the CEO of KTRH, can it be supported with evidence? Chair, we didn't come here to politicize and say who's doing great work. That's not necessary here. What we are dealing with is a crisis that exists in KTRH, and we are not here as adversaries. We are here on an advisorial capacity. And for me to get the answers the people of Kisii County expect, for me to be able to explain why there are no medicines, these questions, Chair, must be answered. So I would like you to guide so that you allow us, not for Mr. Nyakweba, who's my friend, to come and say how they were given an award and you know they were the best. If you tell him right now, give me the award and the letter saying the same, he'll say he doesn't have. And I've not even talked to him. You see, Chair, I know my people. So I'm pleading with you. Can we interrogate this matter? Or if my brother, His Excellency Governor, is not ready with his team, I am free for us to give him more time for him to prepare himself properly, because everything I'm going to ask here is about evidence and data. Nothing else here. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator. I will guide that let's interrogate the matter to the end. If we are not satisfied as a committee, we shall give directions on the documents that they need to supply. But even as Governor, you come in, you know, if you say you are best, then it's also good to tell us, so how much debt? Because Governor, in your response, you've said you found these debts when you came to office. So maybe the question would be, how much was the debt? Then how much have you paid? And what we have is the balance of what you are paid, what you had paid. I think that would also give us some direction. Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, sir. Before His Excellency speaks, the second question I wanted to, which is linked to what you are raising, my chair. My CEO and maybe the CEC Health and the governor himself, I would want him to deal with the issue, number one, how much medicine has Kisii County government purchased from KEMSA for the last 1.5 or 2 years, in the 2 financial years? Number two, all this money that is supposed to be spent was budgeted for. I would like the governor to tell us how much money he budgeted for these medicines. And indeed, after that, since the medicines were budgeted for, and you know, Chair, under the PFM Act, the first charge every single time that you receive money from the national government or exchequer, the first charge is to pay your pending bills. What pending bills has His Excellency the Governor paid in Kisii KTRH Hospital, and indeed any of the facilities that we have in Kisii? The reason I'm asking this question, Chair, is because the information I have is that there are individuals who are not known to me, but who have talked with me, and they have said some of them supplied these medicines 6 months ago, 1 year ago, and they've never been paid. And individuals who supplied medicines a month ago have been paid, and some who did 3 months ago, they've been paid. So I'm trying to really find out whether Governor has streamlined the effects of the payments and the pending bills that exist within his health sector. And number two, whether KEMSA is still supplying medicines to Kisii Referral Hospital. And Governor has said that in fact he has got money that he is going to pay to KEMSA. How I wish he would have brought an RTGS or the whatever system they use to show that he has actually paid that money, so that I'm able to have a clear picture on what to do in terms of why we do not have medicines in KTRH hospital.
Thank you, Senator. Before Governor responds, let me also say this, Senator. As much as we also want to oversight counties, but I think when they do well, it's good to acknowledge. You know, if they got a trophy, they got a trophy. We
Through you, Chair, just give the evidence.
Just a minute.
I'm asking for evidence.
Just a minute, Governor.
Yeah.
You know, it is not that our counties are 100% not working. You know, so we can ask them for evidence, but I think there's nothing absolutely wrong if they say they have been recognized for that matter. However, Governor, what the Senator is asking is very valid, the clarity of that. And I think he has introduced another aspect of suppliers. I know there's a document you supplied us here with a list of suppliers. Probably my supplementary question would be, of those in that table, are there those that are pending bills? Are there pending bills that are beyond 6 months that have not been paid? And are they part of what is going to be paid? Governor.
Chair.
I think let's allow him to respond because the questions will be too many.
No, I'm not asking.
We allow you to... Okay. Senator Amida.
Sorry, just a supplementary to that. Chair, if this data is correct, or the KEMSA, they're saying between 181 to 270 days, they only had a debt of 19,319,000. But then when it comes to over 118.25 days, they had nil. Yet others, you may find, of course, had other debt. So far, their slate is clean on over 1825. And only over 181, 270 days, they have 19 million. So I'm imagining if the governor said that they have processed, is it a bill of how much? So far you have processed. Is it that it's going to clear the debt? Because so far their debt is 19,319,000 on this data, looking at the data.
Okay, Governor.
Through you, Chair, please make a correction on what she's saying. The debt is actually close to 60-something, 54 million.
No.
Clarify that, Chair. Clarify that.
The clarification is this, Senator Onyonka. The total debt is 59 million, but KEMSA has provided depending on the age of the debt. So the 19 million is the one that is beyond 180 days. If you add the rest, it will total up to that 59. What Senator Amida is asking is whatever is in process, Governor, is it going to clear that old arrears of more than 180 days? Governor.
Chair, I believe that that's a bit of what is going to clear the old debt. And as we are getting more drugs again from KEMSA, therefore it is ongoing again debt that will be there, which we endeavor to pay. Chair, I want to confirm to you that there is no crisis in my level 5 in terms of supply of drugs. That one, 100%. For evidence, Chairman, for the award, because it was brought and even there is a certificate, I can produce it. But Chair, when again we are discussing this document, we are only seeing it now. How I wish we had it earlier. Would have provided that information that so much is required by the Senate, as it were. Therefore, Chairman, if you give us again a date and get this information, we'll provide. We came in prepared on the questions that you had asked. Yes, supplementary questions can be answered as long as they are again in line of the information we have. We'll definitely provide. Chairman.
There was a question that has not been answered. Where is your list of questions? I just remembered and that's also skipped my mind. Yes, in fact, there's your question. I just remembered, Governor, before you to ask another supplementary question, they are asked that clarify and explain what is this revolving drug fund and how it works. Yes, that's the question.
Allow me to give the CEO to explain how it works.
Thank you, Chair and the members. The revolving drug fund is a concept that is meant to ring-fence monies for drugs, so that once you inject in a budget for drugs, that money keeps growing to ensure that there is consistent availability of drugs in the hospital. So for KTRH, this is a concept introduced within the amenity wing.
Chair,
Senator Nyotu?
related to that, so CEO, you are saying that you set aside some amount of money every year. You take it to the revolving fund. Is that what you submitted?
Yes, Chair. This is a concept that we have introduced this current financial year.
Okay, Chair, I wanted to know how much they have built it to, but if he says that they have just started the fund, then my question becomes gets answered, Chair. And Chair, if you allow me, there was also the question on why they do not get all their supplies from KEMSA, because I would want to believe that KEMSA will bring cost savings to the people of Kisii instead of buying from these other chemists and suppliers that are on the list. Could it be because you do not want to clear KEMSA's debt? What informs this decision, Governor, to procure from other agencies other than KEMSA? That is a question that I had also asked, Chair.
Governor?
Chair, thank you. I want to say the first charge, all order we do to KEMSA. Then anything that KEMSA does not have is what we go ahead to procure from these other suppliers. Ordinarily, what happens is KEMSA, out of 100% that we, with the request or requisition we put before them, they almost every time they have only 30%. Therefore, they come back asking that they don't have those drugs. We go ahead to procure them from other suppliers, as it were. On the evidence, you can check on the Annex A. We are provided it there, Mr. Chairman.
Any other? Senator Onyonka?
Thank you, Chair. Your Excellency and your CEO, the question I want to ask is, when you're purchasing the medicines, do you use exchequer which is budgeted for by the Assembly, and then you allocate the funds for the purchase of those medicines, or do you use own source revenue, which is generated from the hospital, and that is KTRH? And Chair, as a closing question, I would like to know from His Excellency Governor, for the financial year 2023-2024, that would actually start from, let me say, 2023 financial year up to 2024. What has been the own source revenue that the KTRH has collected for this financial year? And if you can help me and your people understand, Your Excellency Governor, I don't know whether you have any annexures, but if you don't, you could provide them. And what was being collected before you took over as the governor? In other words, we are trying to compare. Did you increase the collection of the revenue or did it decline? Thank you.
Before Governor answers, Senator Ledama, can you go on record?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me apologize for being late. We were with you. Narok County was appearing, so I had to be there. My name is Ledam Walekina, Minority Whip, Senator Narok County, and a member of this committee.
Yes, Governor.
Chair, thank you. I want to answer the 3 questions that Senator Onyonka has just asked. I want to say that, Chair, KTRH runs its budget. Actually, yearly there is a budget for KTRH. And from it, most of the times when they don't have enough money, that they can be able to ask the executive to put more money. As we are talking right now, Mr. Chairman, KTRH is a standalone facility. There is an act which was passed recently by the Assembly and have signed into law. There is an act now they are running. We expect that in the future, the facility to run its business as it were. Chair, the question that Senator Onyonka asked, I want to report here. When I came to the office, Chairman, the facility was correcting 47 million per quarter. That was the revenue, the sales that they were doing. Chair, I came in and made some changes, and those changes I removed the CEO was there, brought in the new CEO, who since then, Mr. Chairman, has improved the sales of KTRH from 47 million to 200 million. Save for the time the doctors and clinicians went on strike, that's the time now we came back actually to what they were correcting earlier. But as it were, Chair, we moved from 47 sales to 200 million. And there is an impact of it, the fact that we were correcting that much. Chairman, is a record which I believe that we can be able to get from the CEO. We used to lose 50% of newborns in that facility within 24 hours. Therefore, 50%, if there were newborns 100, 50 would die. Within 24 hours, we used to lose 23 to 25 people, no more deaths. But since then, when we came in and we have effected that disciplined chair and save that you came to that facility, I can tell you there is a record of a day we would not lose a patient, which has never happened. Chair, today we can lose no more deaths, around 3 to 7. For the infants, it has reduced from 50%, we are doing around 15 to 17, because again, other factor remaining constant. This is a facility, Chair, God willing, if by the end of the time, it's the only facility we have as a referral hospital for both, that is our neighboring counties, Homa Bay, Migori, part of Narok, Kericho, Bomet, and Nyamira. That's their facility. And we must be able to make sure that facility works. Thank you, Chair.
Senator Onyonka. Just a minute. Has Senator Nyotu's question been answered?
Yes, Chair. I am waiting for us to go to question number 4.
Thank you very much. Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, sir. One of the, I hope, Chair, the recommendations you make is that information that the governor has given could also be tabled, because the records do exist and there is a way on how you can tabulate the newborns, how many there were, what period, and all that stuff. I think it's important we have those facts, including the general deaths. The only thing my governor did not do, he did not tell me the money that he spent for the purchase of drugs, whether it's coming from the normal budgetary allocations, or does he then, as he mentioned it, he said that there's a possibility sometimes when the facility doesn't have the medicines, then they will talk to the executive. I would like to know actually how those payments are made, and especially, Chair, whether, I'm sure, Governor, you know, that you have the FIF fund. The FIF fund, and your CEO knows, is the amount of money that the county assembly passed a bill where they recommended at one time that all the level 3 and 4, I think, Chair, when you were governor, you must have had this, where all the facilities were supposed to keep the amounts of money which they collect at the local level, and so that they can begin to deal with the issues that are outstanding. I want the governor to explain to us whether that fund has also been part and parcel of what he uses to purchase the drugs. And finally, Chair, Kisii County, the donor community has been very, very magnanimous to the county, and Danida is one of the, other than AMREF, is one of the agencies that has been supporting Kisii County government and indeed KTRH with funding and provision of equipment. I would like the governor to explain to this committee whether they have funded any purchase of medicines or equipment for KTRH. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.
Chair, allow me to ask my CEO to respond on the issue of, because I did mention earlier on the budget.